All right. Good morning, everybody. Space Junkie is back. A regular takeover on a Monday, and we've got tons of good information, new photographs, some stuff that will blow your mind today. And as usual, I'm Szabi, and I'm not alone. Hi, David. How are you?
Hello, Sabi. Hello, everyone. Yeah, it's good to be back again after 1 hour break. 1 hour, well, 1 week break. As you noticed, we haven't been here last Monday, but we are now here again, and we are full with good news.
hmm Indeed. First of all, let's announce that we've got a new camera. So you can see all of them in one picture. And hopefully from now on, this is going to remain like this 24/7 live stream. Anytime you want to take a look at what's going on at the Starbase, just tune to the 24/7 camera here on What About It. All right. Without further ado, let's kick off our show today. I think let's start with 3i Atlas because it's still stirring up some attention in the world. Please tell us what you think 3i Atlas is still some sort of mysterious alien spacecraft or is
What
just
else?
what or is just what it looks like. You can see this on this incredible photo on the left. You can see a galaxy lots of light years away, and in here in the foreground we can see the this interstellar uh, object. It's coming from the interstellar space, and this is only the third one the humanity just discovered, and it definitely looks like now a regular comet. It still have some anomaly, but I mean, they say if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, it's definitely a duck. And so all the astronomers are pointing to this direction, that this is just an unregular rock coming to our way. We're going to have tons of information, I think, in the future, coming couple of months. Still approaching to Earth. I think it's gonna be sometime mid-December when it's gonna be closest to Earth, and also JUICE, the help me out, the Jupiter icy moon,
Icy Moon Explorer, I think.
Explorer. Thank you. So that's gonna take a good look at it as well, but it will only beam back its information at around February, so we will not know anything new about it before that. It's just because the communication obstacles is too far away, too large data. Anyway, we definitely, hopefully, we are going to learn tons about this incredible object that just zooming past our solar system, well, flying through our or across. Um, okay, there's another incredible shot I have to show you. That's from Andrew McCarthy. And let me just give you a little bit of explanation, because what we see here, it really is blowing your mind. So this is our sun, our central star. Taken this high resolution photo is taken with an hydrogen alpha solar telescope. I think it's from mosaics, so that's why the large resolution. And in the middle, there is a large spot in there. So that's not dirt. That's not just regular dirt. But if I show you another photo, I mean, that's a human right there.
Hmm.
So this guy is, he just made a jump from, I think it's called a paramotor, I think, or a paraglider. I don't know what the vehicle is called, but I show you the video of it, which really is incredible. So you will see as so it was all, how can I say, organized in a way that I think no one else done before. And I'm messing up my screen. So there we go. So this is the moment of jump. A lot of people were saying that this is fake, this is AI generated. No, it's not. It's an extremely well executed stuff that we can see. So that guy is doing a free fall, and then obviously he's opened up his chute and was landing. But I mean, look at this. Honestly, Dave, I mean, how crazy this is.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Was this whole event or performance deliberately
Yes, yes, yes,
organized just
yes,
because of this photo
yes,
for this photo. Okay, so
yes,
it's not
yes.
not accidentally taken.
No, 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 no.
Okay.
So this guy, Gabe Brown, I think, the guy who's jumping right there, and it was taken by Andrew McCarthy. He's an incredible photographer. I mean, he's for me, I know him for a while because he's been taking photos, astro photos since a while. I mean, look at this International Space Station in front of
Hmm.
the moon. So this is a composite, and I think his strength is the quality. I mean, he's just doing extremely nice photographs. Yeah, thank you, paraglider. Yeah, that's what it's called. Thank you, in the chat. And also, he's been taking like photos in front of the sun. That's the ISS just right there. Again, hydrogen alpha photo. Yeah, he's an incredible photographer, and just the fact that he organized this shot, I mean, is just mind blowing. So I just thought that I'm gonna show you. You can see some filaments, you can see some um I forgot. Anyway, some stuff so you can see the surface of the sun, the corona, and it's just incredible. And before we turn our attention to our first main topic, just a couple of photos from Vast. This is this is a company who's proposing to build a space station at low Earth orbit, and they just beamed back a couple of photos of this demonstration mission. It's called Demo One, if I remember correctly.
No, just Haven demo
Oh,
or
just
Haven
demo.
demo. Yeah.
Okay. And hopefully next year in 2026 they are going to launch their first module of this new space station. And this demo mission is I think its task is to test a smaller version of this new station. So it's something to look forward, and this is a beautiful eye candy. I think, yeah, photos from space
Mm?
never bore us.
Yeah, so it was launched back on the 2nd of November, and yeah, it's a technology demonstration or demonstrator, sorry, and yeah, it's um it's for validating the later Haven 1 space station, different systems, communication, and so on. So
Mhm.
that's why they have launched it now, and yeah, it has made nice photos about the Earth already. So
Yep.
it was worth to launch it.
Yes. Okay. This was the sort of warm up, and let's turn our attention to Starbase because there are lots of things going on down there. Still not as many activities as we would like, but let's see the Pad One because they are doing some demolition work right there, don't
Until we
they?
can watch it because in a couple of days maybe it will be totally gone.
Yeah.
If we just look at the speed how they demolish it. So yeah, the first leg was down yesterday or the day before yesterday, but let's say about at weekend. And so yeah, they have ramped up the speed of the demolition. So they have cut the upper ring in different parts. Then some excavators were joined to the joined the party, and they started to deconstruct everything around it. So I mean, first the OLM ring was cut in parts first. Then now the legs are the level 2, or how to say, the next phase of the deconstruction. So and again the steps were removed. So yeah, they are quite in a good pace to just erase everything above the what we can see actually. But especially for me, it was quite strange or interesting that they haven't removed this inverse shower head, what is under the OLM. So because they have yeah, that maybe that's the phase how they deconstruct everything.
Probably they don't want to
And
save it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Shall
and
we
yeah,
call it a pillars of deconstruction or
yeah,
decreation?
yeah. Maybe that's a good good naming of this photo. So I already know from which photo is familiar. I mean, what we can see on the left on the right side. So
Mm-hmm,
it's
mm-hmm.
it's quite looks the same. So,
Yep.
but of course it's a joke. So yeah, maybe we are not so back, or we are just in couple of weeks until it will be entirely removed. Then again, I guess the which is under the platform is that's the next phase. So they will just remove everything. So the cables, hoses, electric cables, everything they will remove, and they can start the digging of for the new flame trench.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's the situation,
Uh,
or the visual thing how it looks like. It's quite sad, but that's the way how it will a new pad reborn or born.
mhm.
So first they have to remove the first one.
Yeah, it's like the phoenix. It will rise
Yeah,
from its ashes. As you can see on the live camera view, the work is ongoing, and this is actively happening. I'm sure a lot of people are sad about it, but this is SpaceX. Just remind yourself, they never stop. They always have something to do. They always change. They always work on something, and yes, I mean OLM and pad A or pad 1, it did its job, and right now they just they're just changing the game, and they will do the reconstruction of a new pad which is more suitable for SpaceX's plans for the future. So it's I would just call it a milestone. Yeah, it did its job. We've seen some interesting stuff happening in the past, definitely during IFT1. um, but yeah, let's just move on to the next phase. There is
yeah. Just one thing to add, that actually or practically we shouldn't call it OLM because no orbital launch was performed from this one. So actually SOLM, so suborbital launch
SOLM.
mount.
SOLM.
SOLM, yeah. Okay, we can move on.
Yep. Also, we're gonna turn our attention whilst we are here at the launch site to Pad 2 because it has gone through some epic changes. This is from last year.
Last
Last.
August, I think, or
Mm-hmm.
last
Mm-hmm.
September, but anyway, last one more than 1 year.
Mm-hmm. So thanks to RGB aerial photography, we can see how much it changed. So I will show you a photo. This is not the current uh, sort of state, but we are not too far behind. And then this is a brand new photo. So I mean, look at that, how polished and tidy that looks. I
Mhm.
really like how it looks. I really do.
Yeah, it looks a proper launch mount as it should have been at the
Indeed.
in case of the OLM one or Pad one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the latest news about this one that the hoods are installed. I mean the QD hoods are already at their places. So maybe they are not so far from the entire finishing of this launch mount. Maybe they just have to install this 20 how to say, which is getting the boosters aft section. How they call it? Help me, Sabi. It's one word. Okay.
The,
Anyway,
sorry, I missed
the
it. I was reading the chat.
okay. No. It's it's too far from it. So no, never mind. We can move on. Um, what else?
Mm-hmm.
About the production site, the Gigabay is under construction. They are in a
No,
good
it's
pace as
ready
well.
actually. Look,
Oh, yeah, I have I have slept 1 year.
this is some future photographs. Photographs. Marty McFly just sent it to us, and we can see how it's gonna look like. Anyway, this is from RGV Aerials weekend show, and we can see how it's gonna look like or what it's gonna look like in the future. I mean, it's quite unbelievable how the scale is always growing, growing, growing. So you remember we had the low bay, and then we had the mid bay, and then we had the high bay. High bay looked gigantic at those days in the past.
Yeah.
And then we've got the mega base. Mega base looked megalithical, mega huge. And then now Gigabay, next to Gigabay, it just looks like, I don't know, like mid bay next to high bay. So things are just exponentially growing down in Starbase. I don't think we're gonna see anything bigger than this.
And
Or
just one thing
famous
again to
last words. Sorry,
continue, then
I
I will.
finished.
Okay. So, and just we shall not forget that one day Mega Bay 1 will be gone as well, because it's too short for the V4 boosters. So, and maybe it won't have any more role if the Gigabay will be in operation. Maybe they will spare the Mega Bay 2. To be frank, I don't know about it, but that's quite sure that the Mega Bay 1 will be demolished after the Gigabay is finished and it's in operation.
Nice. They are nice people. They always keep people busy down there. I mean, that's a
They have
very
to
nice.
build anything every time. So maybe Starbase
Absolutely.
won't be ready at all. If the Gigabay will be ready, then they will figure out something else. For example, at the launch Sanchez side, they have to build up something. I don't know, a new Gigabay or one more Star Factory. Just kidding. So, but maybe it won't be ready at all.
Yep. Okay, let's see where are we in terms of boosters and ships. Well, booster and ship, because
Hmm.
at the moment it's just only singular
Yeah,
number
but
of articles.
in terms of the booster 18, which will be the first V3 or generation 3 booster, it's almost finished already to begin its test campaign. So as far as I know, it's in the phase about the last checkpoints and yeah, double checks again, and maybe it will be taken, or it will be rolled out to the masses outpost, or yeah, I have to think about, maybe that will maybe it will have a fit check. But yeah, maybe it's upon the Raptor 3 engines, and maybe until it's not installed, or they are not installed, they can't just put this new booster into the new pad 2. So yeah, it's not sure or not clear what will be the first step with the booster after it's ready
Do
to
they
be rolled
need
out.
do they really need the Raptor engines for a fit test?
Yeah, what
Because
I
then
was
they
thinking
don't
about.
really
Maybe they
make
won't
any
require.
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think
Because
so.
the clamps, which is getting in my mind, that I was searching for this word um not so a couple of minutes ago. So the clamps, maybe they require the aft section itself, and it will be of course installed to the booster.
Indeed.
So that's why it's
Yeah.
not sure whether they will be rolled out. It will be rolled out first to the pad 2 for a fit check,
Mm-hmm.
or it will be rolled out for the to the messes outpost for the first cryogenic proof tests.
Okay. Right. And then what's going on in terms of ships?
Hmm. Yeah, they are in a good progress as well in terms of the S39 construction or building. So yesterday they rolled the last, so the aft section into the Mega Bay 2, and as we speak, I guess it's already welded to the upper part of the hall. So last week we have seen that the downcomers have been installed without the aft section, and after the downcomers, so these big and very important parts of the bottom section were installed. Then the next and last step was to install and weld the aft section, and yeah, that's a good photo. And we were lucky, or Jordan was lucky, that the Mega Bay 2 door was opened, and he could done this photo, or he could do this photo. So yeah, that's a good progress. and and maybe the first generation third generation ships is not so far from the first steps and first tests as well. So
How
yeah,
is your tongue feeling right now?
thanks. It's good. It's okay.
Good. Okay. Right. And I've got a couple of more stuff. So they spotted some raptors at McGregor.
Yeah,
I don't think.
and
Do you think we
mhm.
have like a booster worth amounts of sort of V3 boost ships? Sorry,
They
Raptors.
are getting there because that's, I guess, the third group of four Raptor 3 engines. So at
Mhm,
least
mhm.
if we are going, or if we are thinking about the serial number, which is the
I can
highest,
see 64 here.
yeah, that's the highest one, at least what
Uh-huh.
they have seen so far. So maybe they are at the phase, or at the, yeah, let's say, situation that the first 33 Raptors are towards or in the direction of the Starbase already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Unfortunately,
the question is how
yeah.
good what sort of shape these raptors are. How many
Mhm.
blew up? How
Yeah,
many,
that's a good question.
yeah, because no, it's just because Akiji is saying at the
Mm.
chat that if they are at number 64, then they have enough 33 plus 6. But again, we still don't know in what conditions they are. I mean, the first couple of them, they were just starting the
Yeah.
whole test campaign. So, they definitely have seen a couple of them blowing up. So I'm not too sure if there's enough, but there should be around.
Yeah, so based on the serial number, I wouldn't be sure whether they have enough engines for both stages already.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Anyway,
my conclusion.
we just speculating. No one
Yeah.
knows, and we will see exactly if none of them appeared yet at Starbase, did they?
But
Nobody spotted
yeah,
V3s.
yeah, that's sure, because maybe all of you remember the last visit of Team Doddy, Everyday Astronaut, when they just visited with Elon the Mega Bay 1, which is the back of the, or yeah, which is behind the smaller building, which is connected to the Mega Bay 1, the Raptor nest, or how they call it. So that's a different building, and we haven't seen, or we couldn't see anymore when they are just rolling in a new engine to the Mega Bay 1, because previously we could see it when they just started to install any Raptors to the previous boosters. But since this new building, which is at the back of the May one, is built or has been built, there is no visible sign for any Raptor engines anymore, unfortunately. So that's why we can't be sure how many Raptors are at the Starbase, but I would bet that there are some already.
So hold on. When Tim Dodd was at Starbase, wasn't it at the Mega Bay? The engines.
Yes, that's why
Hmm.
I'm said what I've
Okay.
said, that the Mega Bay one. I guess they have visited with it on the Mega Bay one,
Yeah. And
and
then
it had that's it.
it's not the case anymore. You're saying
Yes, this building is still there.
it's still
This
there.
smaller
Okay.
building. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
quite a view. A
absolutely.
Raptor Engine 3, or sorry, what is it? Forest. Yeah, I
Yeah,
just look
Raptor
around and
Forest.
it's
Yeah,
just, yeah, just Raptor Forests. Yeah,
yeah.
crazy. Okay, anyway, let's move on. We got two more photos to show. So that's both from Florida, and some quite important stuff happened there because this new
Yeah,
OLM was fitted.
yeah. There is a good advance at the 39A as well, because they have
Mhm.
put this quite huge OLM at its place, and it was quite
Just
different. Yeah.
just to spot, I mean, sorry, just three SPMTs were carrying it, not two, but three. I mean,
Yeah.
this is crazy.
Yeah, and this StackMe sign just changing its how to say place, because one time it's at Florida, it is at Florida, then they moved it to the Starbase, then maybe it's back again to Florida, if they have only this
Or
one sign. But
probably they
anyway,
have one at both places,
yeah,
right?
it can
Nah,
be.
come on. They have the budget for it.
Yeah, of course, that's the most important detail. So anyway, it was put in its place, and it was quite interesting that it was in a quite different way how compared to the Starbase, because that was at the Starbase they have put the OLM with two cranes. In this case, at Florida, they have put or they have built a quite heavy crane, and it was required only this one so it could done alone this job. So yeah, but again, it's a good phase, and a good milestone they have reached with the building of the 39A OLM. So they can move on and they can put everything into its place, and they can weld it, of course. And now the other hoses and other every subsystems
Connections.
can
Yeah.
be installed. Yeah. So
Indeed.
and
And of course, the scaffolding has been removed from the chopsticks, so they're definitely proceeding with this area as well.
yeah.
Very, very nicely, very nicely. So, all right. I think that's it for Starship. We've got three more topics for today. So one is going to be about New Glenn, the second one about the Shenzhou situation on the Chinese space station, and we're going to end this program with talking about NASA Artemis 3 and then the end of the government shutdown. So, New Glenn, we've seen an incredible launch just last week,
Oh yeah.
last Thursday. And it's a huge milestone, to be honest. I think all the skeptics can now shut up. So I will shut up. No, okay, no, I'm just joking. We were not skeptics. I think everybody was giving a hard time for Blue Origin because, I mean, they really took their time. But hey, they just got there. They exactly right there where they want to be. We've got two methane-powered rockets. One is now completely capable of placing anything to low Earth orbit or even beyond, because during this escapade mission, these two probes are heading towards Mars. So they are definitely very capable, these New Glenn rockets. And we've seen something I did not expect to see at all.
I think no one was expecting this one.
Yeah, I mean, crazy, crazy. And if you think about it, the scale of this rocket. So this is a lovely render of the second generation and third generation booster, and with the New Glenn. I mean, this is a huge rocket, huge.
Yes, so maybe it would be a better comparison between Falcon 9 and this one, so the GS1, so the New Glenn first stage, because it's almost 60 meters tall and 7 meters wide, or the diameter is 7 meters, so double the size of the Falcon 9 diameter. So it's yeah, it's a huge one, and yeah, the waiting is over. It was almost 10 years. I mean, about the waiting, but after the first successful propelled landing of the first Falcon 9 on the landing zone, and yeah, it was in 2015 of December, and yeah, it took almost 10 years that the second company could repeat it. However, it was of course a drone ship landing, or how the Blue Origin calls Jacqueline, it's the landing platform vehicle or something like that. So it's not
I'm not
just
sure.
drone ship. Anyway, so the New Glenn first stage wasn't coming back to the. It wasn't a land landing, but an ocean landing, and it was only the second mission, and yeah, it was important uh, f- um, because of the first interplanetary mission, and and it's of course it's not a common, or not a regular thing that one of the newbies getting so important missions at their second attempt. So yeah, it was a NASA escapade missions with the twin spacecrafts, which were put in the absolutely normal trajectory. So, but the other big question was how the New Glenn first stage will perform, and it it yeah, we couldn't believe our eyes when we have covered it, or when we have streamed it last Thursday. So they just nailed it. It was a bullseye landing, of course. The big difference between Falcon 9 and the GS1, that it can hover, and it helped a lot, as we have seen it, because otherwise they would have just missed the Jacqueline platform. So when we will arrive at the footages of the landing, it will shown, or there is a good diagram or some figures about the vertical and horizontal place where the New Glenn or the GS1 was, just a couple of 10 meters above the surface of the ocean. However, it was about 200 meters next to the platform. But yeah, we will arrive there very soon.
Yeah. So before we get there, I mean, I would like to show you this point of view. So this is allegedly, well, according to Mr. Scott Manley, from a what was the aircraft? 40
WD-57.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, 50. Yeah, I always mix it up with the liquid. With the WD-40.
That's a 40, yeah.
So it's from the NASA aircraft, and most likely that was in the area, and this is where this incredible footage was originated from. It really truly amazing. I really like it. And then the landing, what David was talking about, is from the internet, from X. And look at that. Somebody just calculated 242 meters away, and it was hovering basically. This is when we just thought that, okay, that's it. It's just not going to happen. And then all of a sudden, you can see this water plume coming up, and I was like, no, okay, it just landed next to it. Probably they thought that this is unsafe, and they just landed on the ocean. And it's just not. All of a sudden, and I mean, the feed was choppy and it was breaking up. But then all of a sudden you could see just the big flames, and it was just there. And I'm like, no way. This is unbelievable. This photo is from another boat. I guess this is where it was filmed as well. So there's Jacqueline over there, and it's actually just arriving to Port Canaveral as we speak, which is incredible. So yeah, mind is blown. It's weird because on our own channel, we got a lot of comments, and we got viewers who were saying that basically SpaceX is just falling short behind Blue Origin, and now they get a big slap from Blue Origin because this is like a huge thing, and all of a sudden they are not the dominant force. And yeah, let's just add that before we go on. I mean, I think they added a couple of more launches, but at the moment, Falcon 9 is at 559. I think it's over 560 now. Successful mission. 510 successful landing. 481 reflown booster for Falcon 9, and they've done a good bunch of Dragon missions. They have their own spacecraft. They are having their own constellation with Starlink. So it's over.
Actually, today was the 500th reflown booster.
500.
Yeah, today with the Sentinel-6B mission was the 500th of the using a reflown booster. 500.
Wow, it's incredible.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So thousands of satellites up there. So this is the second mission for New Glenn. And we need to highlight and stress this, that New Glenn and Blue Origin is on the right path. but this is just the beginning of a very long journey. Yes, we hope that they gonna launch in a high frequency. If catching a booster and refurbishing a New Glenn GS1 booster is like easy peasy, then yes, we're gonna see mission after mission after mission. They need to build up a whole fleet of rockets, but they just not, I mean, this is the beginning, but nobody is squeezing SpaceX just yet.
No, this doesn't mean that they have already stepped on on their heels. But
No. On the
at
toes,
least
yeah.
the
No,
US industry has already two companies they can return a booster back. So yeah, we know that Rocket Lab had some attempt to catch it with a helicopter. I mean the Electron rocket, but yeah, they just maybe that wasn't the way how to reuse a booster. So yeah, but now Blue Origin has joined the party, and it's a very good thing
indeed.
in terms of the Artemis program as well. So
Oh,
it
yeah.
was a very big day for NASA as well.
Yeah, yeah, indeed. Two things. So it moved pretty slow from the launch pad. So probably we will see that increasing or improving in the future, or probably this is just the pace how the booster is moving up or leaving the pad. Also,
Yeah, maybe
so
just one thing that it just came in my mind that maybe Scott Manley said that the thrust to weight ratio is the same like the Saturn V had.
yeah, yeah. So probably that's a normal thing.
That's why
Um,
it looked
mhm,
quite slow. But anyway,
yeah.
it doesn't mean that it's weak. I mean, the rocket is weak, but that's the physics of the rocket launch.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's strange. I don't remember exactly how many seconds had to pass to actually surpass so going supersonic, but I think it's way longer than Falcon 9. Falcon 9 is supersonic like after how many seconds? 50,
About
60.
1 minute,
Yeah.
60, 70 seconds. About it. Yeah,
Yeah. And I think New Glenn took like almost 2 minutes or 2 minutes until it was going.
much later. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and one more thing, and we did not discuss it internally with you, David, but you remember in our stream when the stage step was shown, and after that we could see the second stage, and I was saying that it's pointing upwards. Actually, Scott Manley was saying that yeah, that wasn't a normal flight. So this is not how a second stage usually behaves. It really started pointing upwards, and he was saying that it was compensating. Not so he came to a conclusion that the booster did his job perfectly. So it's not because of the booster didn't perform the way it should have, but it was just probably it was the flight profile, and it was just at the beginning of its journey. It was really pointing upwards, and it just looked strange, but apparently everything went according to the mission plans. So yeah, there's nothing else to
Yeah.
add to it. It was an
And
amazing stuff. Yeah,
and once we are at the second stage, then you had a quite interesting info.
indeed, because it looks like so this is the second stage of New Glenn, and apparently this is the largest second stage, or I would say upper stage on orbit since the Apollo days. So this is a huge second stage for sure. And I've got some historic photos here just to compare. This is I think, yeah, that's the third stage of the Apollo, sorry, the Saturn V. And
No,
yeah,
that's the second stage because it still have
is
five
it?
engines. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah, I'm sorry. Then I don't know why they did it. Why did the post include this photo? Because, oh, yeah. How many? Two of the upper stage or three? Two.
The first
The
stage
third
had one.
stage. Oh,
One J,
just
one
one.
engine.
Okay, then, okay. I just need to be quiet about that, about my lack of knowledge. But for sure, that's a thing. This is the largest second stage since the Apollo times. So it's unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah.
So well done, Blue Origin.
hmm
Um, and I think soon we're gonna have what is it called? It's not a Kuiper. It's called.
Amazon Leo already. They have changed their name last week, so it's not anymore Project Kuiper. But since it's the satellites of the Amazon, then they thought it would be a better name to call it Amazon Leo.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. So
Congratulations, congratulations on this one.
yeah, so they need a capable rocket for their constellation as well. So again, massive step for Blue Origin, massive step for American space industry.
Yeah.
Second, the second company ever globally who can say that they have a reusable first stage. So absolutely well done to Blue Origin. They just gained 2 fans. David and I will definitely join the Blue Origin fan club. So, so yeah, great stuff. Okay, we've got still a couple of
Yeah.
stuff to talk about, so let's speed it up because it's
Okay.
yeah, time is passing by. So we're gonna talk about the Chinese space station because some sort of drama is unfolding. So apparently, Shenzhou 20 and Shenzhou 21 missions were ongoing. Shenzhou 21 were heading to the Chinese space station, and they supposed to change the crew for another. It's a crew rotation, another 6 months long mission. But it seems like that the Shenzhou 20, which one? The 21, no, the 20 spacecraft has been hit by
Yeah.
yeah, a
Some
meteor.
space debris. Yeah.
Yeah, a meteoroid
Yeah.
debris. So definitely, or a space debris. We don't know exactly the origin of it, but definitely, unfortunately, it could not return the Shenzhou 20 crew, and so they had to come home with the Shenzhou 21 spacecraft, which means at the moment Shenzhou 21 mission has no lifeboat at their disposal. Yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of the dates, so they handed over the control, I mean the Shenzhou 20 to the 21 at on the 4th of November. Then the next day was quite interesting because on this day it was their return to the Earth was postponed because of this yet suspected debris impact, which was damaged the viewport window, and the engineers weren't sure how this damage could impact the return, but they decided it wouldn't be safe. So that's why they decided that they switched actually the spacecraft. So this Shenzhou 20 crew was returning to the Earth with the Shenzhou 21 spacecraft. And they actually now, that means, as Sabi mentioned, that the Shenzhou 21 crew doesn't have any lifeboat currently, and that's why it's a quite interesting story. But luckily, the Chinese engineers or Chinese um, let's say leaders had a good idea when they started this whole Shenzhou program, and they decided that it should be all the time at least one Long March 2F rocket and one Shenzhou spacecraft in spare, if I'm correct, right? So that means that soon in the near future they can launch a new spacecraft. But as far as we know, and as the latest news mentioned, it could be the earliest at 25th of November. So that means that the currently operational crew, or yeah, the current crew at the Tiangong is without lifeboat until at least next Tuesday. So it's quite dangerous, and it's yeah, it's not a regular story at all.
Far from ideal. Indeed. I mean, similar stuff was going on with Crew 8 and Crew 9. If you remember, I think it was Crew 8 when, nah, come on. Drew, no, what's the two stranded astronauts' name? Sunita
Butch
Williams
Wilmore and
and
Sunita
Butch.
Williams.
Yeah,
Mm.
they were stranded on the International Space Station because of the non-functional Starliner, and they were like, if they were hit by something else, a debris, or if the ISS was malfunctioning, that they could have had some sort of problem at their hands. So same situation here. If something goes wrong with the station, then there's no way to leave the station. So let's hope that they're gonna resolve this problem real quick. The rocket will launch safely, and they could come back. Well, they could send up the new spacecraft, and they will have a lifeboat just in case if something goes wrong. Yeah, we will see. We will see, but we just thought that we're gonna mention this because it's quite remarkable what's going on up there. And while we were talking about Shenzhou 20 mission, let's just mention that they did something that never done before. So they were grilling some chicken wings on the Chinese space station. It's
Yeah,
never
they had
done
a
before.
barbecue party.
Exactly, exactly. So yeah, it's crazy. It just shows that the new space stations, first of all, the International Space Station is old. It is just old. It just has old hardware, and they try to refresh the hardware, but the station itself is just too old, and they just can't have stuff that on a new space station they could. So this is a grill. On the Chinese space station, they have microwave, so they can do stuff that it just can't be done on the ISS.
Hmm.
So I think it's a great demonstration from China that they just keep on pushing the boundaries, and yeah, actually I am really happy because we always express this. We are Team Space. We always like to think that this is for the whole humanity, not just for one country, or as China will do, they're gonna start cooperating with other countries. So yeah, it's an absolutely great achievement.
Yeah, and it's a quite nice view and a new unique view, to be frank, because yeah, as Sabi mentioned, we haven't seen anything like that at the ISS. So,
Hmm.
and we won't see anything like that until this next and last couple of years, until the ISS will be decommissioned.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay. And let's just move on to our final topic, which is Artemis.
Hmm.
Artemis, because there was a great article from Eric Berger on Ars Technica, and there are some other stuff we need to report because the government shutdown is over. Yes.
Yeehaw!
I mean, this was the longest
Big
with
applause to the
40.
senators.
Do you know how many days? 40.
43, about
Crazy.
6 weeks. So again, congratulations on them.
Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, I'm just thinking about this. So we are what, almost a year now into this administration. There is still no administrator of NASA. There is an interim administrator, but it's like it's still there is no real, I don't know, boss at NASA, which is crazy. It's gonna be like what, January ish, the earliest
uh,
that they can have an
or very,
administrator.
very, very end of this year, but it depends. It depends how everybody resumes or returns to their
Mm-hmm.
its work, because
Mm-hmm.
yeah, these processes aren't the fastest in
No.
normal case at all, and it's not a normal case now. So everyone and every steps and every processes has to be returned to the
Mm-hmm.
normal way, and the shutdown ended last Wednesday, I think. So only two workday passed so far. So yeah, but i'm just I'm just talked about it. Haven't we covered that Jared Isaacman has been renominated to the NASA administrator? Maybe we haven't talked about it,
Maybe
because
not. Uh-huh.
yeah. So now we talk about it just for a couple of sentences. That yeah, Jared is back back to action, hopefully, and he can have his chair finally at the top of the NASA. But the timing is quite unknown, unfortunately. So, but it's pretty good news that Jared could come back. Let's say that, and maybe or not maybe, but he has to have one more hearing at the Congress, and after it there will be a vote about him. But I don't think that they would be done vote, or how to call it. So they will accept it, I think, or him. So, but first the hearing has to be organized, and after it, I don't know, or maybe nobody knows when will be the next step. But hopefully, very end of this year or beginning of next year, he can step to the top of the NASA at least. And yeah, the administration requires a new leader who can turns back to the good way, hopefully. But the other story that, however, the government shutdown has ended, NASA still doesn't have any budget for financial year 2026. So the new timing shows that it has to be voted until 30th of January next year. So the senators have still about 2.5 months for that, and hopefully they won't require so many or so long time or so many weeks. But until the budget is not voted or not, it's not clear. Maybe Jared couldn't do anything without it. So what's known and what seems to be sure, that what we can see now, that the Artemis program is not so affected because of this shutdown. So the SLS rocket is stacked with the Orion spacecraft since about 1 month. So now the last steps are already in the progress. I mean, the last checkpoints, and if we are lucky, or NASA and how we can see the crew is lucky, then the SLS could be rolled out to the 39B very early in the next year, I think, or maybe this year in the last couple of weeks, but it's very unsure. Anyway, the Artemis program is not affected, so the progress is still on and was still on in these couple of weeks, or about 6 weeks, when the government was shut down. And it's, on one hand, it's a good thing. On the other hand, with this turbulence at NASA is not the best way to prepare themselves to the moon landing and so on. So the whole Artemis program has difficulties, as we all know, but at least the Artemis 2 is, as we can see, it's in a good way and a good direction to be launched at first quarter of 2026.
I'm not entirely sure that I love the idea that Jared is joining this poo-poo show, because honestly, I think he's much more useful outside of this establishment. I think NASA is going to get lots of more limitations at their hands, and I'm just afraid that he's just not really fitting to these sort of very limited environment that NASA is or has to offer for a person like Jared Isaacman. And I think I'm afraid that he's just going to lose more on this whole thing than gain. It's a bit like what Elon Musk has done. He probably thinks that he's done a lot of good stuff, but I think he just gained so many enemies during his 6-month endeavor of whatever he's done. Then I don't see the advantage, but it's probably just me.
One thing to add, if I may, that maybe we can agree on that NASA needs a renewal. or it has to be renewed in some way, because what we have seen in the last couple of years or maybe a decade, it's not the way to keep the lead. And China is just at the it's already just, let's say, a couple of meters behind them theoretically. So, and they will just take the lead if NASA could not renew themselves. So on one term the moon landing, and the other term the science missions and the whole science life, or how the NASA was the leader of everything in terms of the space industry and everything. But now the trend seems to be a bit changing, and it's not the way if the Americans wants to be in everything at the first place.
Yeah. And let's cover the very last topic for today, which is the architecture, because there's a lot of talks going on related to what would be the best architecture for Artemis 3. Should they stick with, I don't know, with a stubby version of a Starship, or should they do a normal Starship, or should they use the Mark 1 from Blue Origin, or what should be the best? Do you want to cover, or shall I go through real quick?
Maybe you are faster, so
Okay.
go
Okay.
on.
So there was this amazing article from Eric Berger on Ars Technica, and they definitely, I mean, he was actually going through these possibilities of what would be the best. Should they go with Mark 1? Should they do the Starship version? How should they do the Starship version if they stick with the original plans? So he definitely rules out the stubby version, because the shorter version of the Starship, because it's just too much of a rethink, and he thinks that it doesn't make too much of a sense. So he says there are two versions of approaching this. One is having an expendable Starship version using expendable starships. So the big question is that how many tanker starships will they require to fuel a depot for a lunar mission? And he comes to a conclusion that no one really know the answer until a final version of a Starship design will emerge. So without real performance numbers and demonstrated efficiency of propellant transfer, no one really knows. Some says between 20 and 40 refuel flights, or at least launches, Starship launches will require an Artemis 3 mission. Some people say it's just between 12 and 20, but definitely these are really high numbers, no matter how we see.
Yeah.
Very important to highlight that we're talking about a company that right now launches 3 times a week Falcon 9 rockets. So it's not too far-fetched from this company to actually do multiple launches per week. And I think, and they think as well, that a lot of people don't really understand that how Starship gonna change the world once it's really ready, how rapidly reusable it's going to be. So at the moment, they are proposing that what if they are gonna using expendable starships, and not just expendable, but on top of it, from the boosters, they need to remove the grid fins, and from the ships, they need to remove the heat shielding as well, so they could launch. So actually, they can save a lot of mass just with that. And if it's not reused, they don't need to save any propellant. So, well, as they assume, or at Ars Technica, they probably can reduce the need of launches by 50%. So again, if that would help the whole program, nobody knows. The problem is that the SpaceX leadership, they're really, including Elon Musk, they're really not a big fan of expendable launches, because SpaceX is really created by the idea of reusability, and they just don't want to go towards the path that they keep on throwing away starships. But if this idea is going to prove being, or it looks like it's going to have a sort of a valid existence, then probably they will agree and they would just start doing these kind of starships. No one knows. The other one is they just gave a name, Enter the Dragon, if you know the Bruce Lee movie. So they were thinking of adding the existing hardware Dragon for this whole equation. So the plan is that SpaceX launches a lunar variant of Starship into low Earth orbit. It's going to be uncrewed. And then SpaceX launches 2 depot variants of Starship into orbit. And then after that, both depots are fueled, perhaps requiring 3 to 5 tanker launches each. And after that, one of these depots flies out to low lunar orbit. The other fuels the lunar Starship previously launched into low Earth orbit. Then the crew of 4 astronauts launches on a Crew Dragon. Then it docks to the lunar Starship. Crew transfers from Dragon to Starship. And then it flies to the moon. It lands, spends a few days on the surface. Then the Starship actually gonna go up to low moon orbit. It refuels from a second depot Starship on lunar orbit, and then they just come back to low Earth orbit, docks with the Dragon, and then the Dragon returns to Earth. It's a very complicated way of doing it, but
Just a little bit.
yes, but it's definitely feasible. And one thing that I would really, really highlight here, that NASA, I think a lot of engineers at NASA are gonna be very, very worried about doing fuel transfer on lunar orbit whilst the crew is on board. And
maybe that will be the most difficult to how to say
and most dangerous probably.
Yeah. To convince them that okay, it will be fine. Just let us do it.
Yeah. But let's not forget that at the early days of Falcon 9, actually, what is it? Load and go? First load and go, I think, or something like this. This is the name they gave for this procedure.
Something load and go.
Yeah. I think load and go. That I think SpaceX was the first company that proposed, private company that proposed that the crew gets to the vehicle, to the Dragon, and way later they start the prop loading. And first, NASA was really not happy about this. But once they proved that they can do this procedure safely, they still doing it to date. So there is a chance that they will allow this. But these are very complicated scenarios. And again, you were talking about Mark II, right? About Blue Origin, that they will need a refilling as well.
About 2 refilling missions or launches, that what they would require to to their own moonlander, but it's much easier to perform, or compared to the about, let's say, 12 or 15 refueling missions or launches with the Starship. And these are the minimum numbers or figures about these 12, 15. Maybe it will be much more, or not much, but more. And just one thing to add, that I have found a pretty interesting X post yesterday about what SpaceX will, what new timeline will be offered by SpaceX to the NASA HLS guys. So it says that the new timeline would be that the propellant transfer would be not no earlier than June 26, uncrewed lunar landing in June 27, and the crewed lunar landing in September 28. That's the most these are the earliest dates how it can be reached or how it can be performed. But these steps are very hard by itself. So even the propellant transfer, if it happens in June 26, it doesn't mean that the first uncrewed mission, so the demo mission, will be performed in next June. I mean June 27. So since or as we as NASA still communicates, so the official target date for Artemis 3 is still middle of 2028. Of course, I think everyone who will be asked about these dates would answer that it's entirely unreal, and it's impossible to reach this mission or this target. And maybe the NASA guys know this one as well. But it's quite interesting that they haven't coming out with a new date yet. So this new crewed lunar landing date in September 28 is it's still quite optimistic. But I wouldn't be surprised if it wouldn't be performed until beginning of 29, and that will be a very tight race with China already. And I guess they would be lucky if they could perform it in let's say first quarter of 29.
I need to address something. Probably it's my English. Probably I wasn't clear enough. So the Dragon spacecraft is not going to lunar orbit. So
No.
the HLS version is going to the moon, landing on the moon, then coming back to lunar orbit. There's a tanker, the second tanker, that has enough propellant to be transferred onto the HLS version of Starship, and then the Starship itself will fly back to Leo or somewhere there, and then docking with the Dragon, and then the guys they coming back on the Dragon. So they're not coming back from lunar orbit. So probably I did not say it clear, but this is the plan. Yeah. So they don't need to modify the Dragon. The whole point of these ideas would be that they're only using current hardware. So what's existing or being developed, because the HLS is not fully developed yet, just like Starship, but they kind of gonna use whatever the final version is going to be. So yeah.
And to be frank, the second version would be quite interesting in that terms that in this case they wouldn't require SLS and Orion at all. So it would be performed only with
very important
SpaceX hardware, and I would just watch the faces of the senators when this option would be accepted. That they famous rocket, the nation's rocket, wouldn't be used for an American moon mission.
Yeah, that's
absolutely impossible.
Yeah, I don't think that would happen. It's just in case. To be fair, this is just checking certain scenarios and just considering them and just brainstorming, if you like. So I think for that it's an excellent stuff, and at least we could talk about it, and we can just turn our cogs in our heads just to think about what would it be like. So I really hope you liked today's show, and we always try to bring you something interesting or something fascinating, because the space world is just not having any rest, or not giving us any rest. Just like we did in the past, we're gonna come back next week as well. And if you want to rewatch this one or the previous episodes, just tune on to What About It Plus. This is the second channel for What About It, and you can rewatch any of these programs. You can hear our music like English. So definitely watch back if you want any of these episodes. But apart from that, every Tuesdays and Fridays, Felix is rolling out the regular episodes. Obviously, this is full of information. This should be your first line information. So definitely Tuesdays, Fridays, just tune on and listen to the regular episodes. And again, 24/7 stream. If you can watch it, if you can show it, Jonathan, just for the goodbye. We have now 3 cameras live, and yeah, if you want to check out what's going on at Starbase, there is always a way to go to do that with the live stream. I think we're gonna say goodbye slowly, right?
I think so, yes.
All right.
Yeah, we are with over time as well as usual, but that's the way how we stream.
Indeed. All right, we're gonna check out. We're gonna see you next week, next Monday. See you soon, and we will be back. Have a lovely week. Enjoy your time, and see you next Monday. See you guys. Take care. Bye bye.
Take care. Ciao.